So for someone with a sensory processing difficulty, there can be a lot of reasons why they might not go to the toilet while they're in a public place. So it might be that at home they're totally fine, they take themselves off to the toilet perfectly well, but maybe when they're at school or when they're out shopping with you, or even in the swimming pool when they go swimming, they find it very difficult to use public toilets. And this is a really common difficulty. Some parents find that while their child is at school, sometimes they might need to go back into wearing pads just to help them cope with their day. So some of the reasons for this could be the fact that if you think about bathrooms, they're very different. Everywhere you go, there's going to be slightly different things. So hand dryers, we all know there's a lot of people that find hand dryers really stressful. They're very loud, they're very unpredictable. Sometimes you can walk past them and they start making a noise, whereas other times you have to put your hands under as a trigger, but obviously there's other people using them in the same room. So hand dryers can be a huge difficulty sound wise, but also the feeling. So don't forget that light touch can be incredibly overwhelming tactile experience for some people. It could be the lighting, so generally we'll have overhead lighting, it might be strip lighting, it might be spot lighting, which then creates lots of shadows. It might be that someone can wear a hat to help to reduce that, but otherwise it can be very difficult lighting wise, because in bathrooms we'll generally have lots of reflective surfaces as well. So we have mirrors, we have where the sinks are is generally quite a shiny area. The floors are tiled. So for people with visual processing difficulties, it could be because of that. Now another big reason can be relating to smell, and all bathrooms smell differently. Obviously some might not smell that pleasant. Some toilets, if someone else has been in there before you, might have other smells. There's smells of cleaning products as well, and there's the smell of the soap as well as the smell of the other people. So when we try and support people to use toilets outside of our home environment, we really need to think about what are the difficulties that they have within their sensory processing. So how can we ensure that if it's the sound, how can we support them to feel comfortable being able to regulate themselves by processing the sound that are in toilets and bathrooms. Is it the visual? Can we help to support with glasses or hats or some other way of reducing that information? If it's smell, maybe there's other ways that we can help to support them to regulate out that smell. So something which smells of them is going to be really, really calming for them. So even if it's just a little bit of fabric of their t-shirt, that's going to be really supportive to help them to ignore, to reduce the other smells that they're processing in the environment. So there can be many reasons why someone doesn't use a toilet in a public place. But a lot of the time, don't forget that our home is where we feel most comfortable. We come home from school, we might have had a really long day. We come home from work, we might have had a really long day. We like being at home, we can relax at home. So therefore our routines are a lot easier for us to do. We don't have to think about other things that might impact us while we're doing activities. Whereas when we're out of that safe environment, it's likely that we're slightly more heightened and aware of other sensory experiences happening in our environment.